I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's
Harry.
And then Chip.
I found his little stand.
Really?
So I can put him back over here on his little stand, yeah.
All right, germ. You know, the big homie Chris Cope is getting us another salty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm going to call him Salt 2.
I see what you did there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a Patreon pick, by the way.
Oh, I thought this was an Alliance pick.
No, this is a Blackfire pick. But the Alliance got together and decided that this would be the best one. So, this is Mayhem. And it's the song De Mysteriis dom Satanas. You know what that is, right?
I don't know, probably something of the mysteries of Satan.
Yeah, Mysterium Fidei was a encyclical that I think JP2 wrote it, the Mystery of the Faith or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, in Timothy where it says that an elder should hold to the mysteries of the faith with a clear conscience. Mm-hmm. So there's always been this concept of, you know, mystery in Christianity. So I'm assuming this is the inversion of that.
Yeah.
Of course, there's that other passage in Revelation where it talks about the deep secrets of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So the Gnostics were, you know, in the church, and they were saying that they had these deep secrets of God.
Yeah.
And so you don't need the Bible. We need to look at the deep secrets of God. And then Jesus shows up and says, those are actually the deep secrets of Satan. Ta-da!
Surprise!
Surprise. Major channel announcement coming. But anyway, so you know, Mayhem, we didn't have a very good review of Freezing Moon. I didn't like the song. I didn't like the musicianship. I didn't like the lyrics. So we gave our honest opinion. Mm-hmm.
Some of you hated us, and some of you departed from the channel. But some of you have returned.
Some of you have returned. You don't think we know you returned. I get notifications every time one of you pops back in, sir.
Yep.
Ma'am. Also, the big homie from Mayhem, they reposted our thing. Hey, we want to talk to y'all. The thing about our channel is we're going to give you the raw, in the moment, how we feel.
Yeah.
We're not going to go, oh, this is awesome if we don't think it's awesome.
Everybody likes this band, so I'm going to say that I like it too, so I can be cool like everybody.
Right. We're not doing that. There are tons of reaction channels that will always give your favorite band. I'm not even mad at them. They'll always give your favorite band a positive review. We're not one of them. If we like the
another
song,
10. Another 10. A 10.
10. If we like the song, we'll say it. If we don't like the song, we'll say it. This one has Euronymous in it.
I don't know who that is. Oh.
Shout out to the big homie. Are you happy that I pronounced the name correctly this time? All right, let's go. Let's do it. Mayhem.
All right.
All right, come on, let's go. Go!
Well, babe, I gotta get the headphones in.
It's the coffee.
Is that what's happening?
That's what's occurring.
Mine's not doing that.
Well.
I have so much cream in there, though. Go.
shit.
Whoa.
All right, so that was
different than the last one.
a little bit different.
Yeah.
That was a little bit, well, it was a lot different. But it was 2015, so I don't know if like...
What year was the other one we listened to? Freezing Moon.
It was on the same record, 1994.
Oh.
It was on the exact same record.
Weird.
Freezing Moon was song 2. That one was song 8.
Okay.
But this one was much better than Freezing Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It must have had a different singer.
I'm still not a fan. I'm not a fan of the vocalist.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I think that he communicates that like genre well, that niche.
Or you're
but
not,
it's not.
you don't like the vocal style because it's not like straight up death vocals. Because it's kind of like yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of it. Yeah.
So I'm not sure because I was thinking to myself like, okay, there's like millions of bands that have the same death vocals over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. This actually sounds like a demon, like not a very like powerful one,
Right.
But a demon.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like those books. Have you ever read This Present Darkness?
No.
It's a book about these demons, and they, you know.
My mom had the book.
It's an interesting one because they do the ranks and stuff. So you got like the
Yeah.
principality of the power demon, and he's like extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you could just tell. And then there's like middle management demon, and that guy is more like sounds like this.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's like you got a bunch of people in a forest, you know, like the principalities and powers are in like the White House and the
Mm-hmm.
Oval Office and shit. Like they're not in the woods with people.
Uh-huh.
Like people are gonna get insulted by that.
What? Does it talk about it being the... I didn't hear the lyrics.
Well, it's 13 people and they're like gathered around and there's a sacrifice of a goat and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I don't think like a major principality would be involved in that.
Oh.
Like a major powerful demon wouldn't be involved in that
Well,
type
I
of
guess
thing.
it would depend on who the 13 people were.
They're too busy. Yeah, but I just imagine a bunch of people in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the powerful ones are like dealing with like foreign policy,
Major things.
major shit, starting world wars and
Yeah.
killing 150 million people. Like that's what they're involved in, or you know,
Yeah.
dismembering children.
That's literally what I was
You know,
thinking
passing
about,
laws
yeah.
that we can dismember children.
Yeah.
But like the I can just imagine the middle management guys. Like this is kind of like their domain, and so you would. That's the type of voice you would have. It wouldn't be like this very powerful. This voice seemed to be kind of mischievous and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know. So
I liked the instruments though. The guitar, like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
still moving fast.
Yeah.
But like there was the guitarist, I don't know which one. He's the bald guy.
Yeah.
That they kind of showed him a lot. I think.
yeah.
I thought that he did really, really good.
Well,
What?
it's mind blowing to I don't know because maybe the one in 2015 they did something different with but the production wise the live show shouldn't be as good as the recording. But
I know.
when I looked at Freezing Moon
Yeah.
versus this is way better. I
Yeah.
heard the notes, I heard everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Iron Maiden.
I don't think it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be. It's
No.
black metal.
Yeah.
So it was that, but you know the other stuff. Like I'm like, the Freezing Moon thing was terrible. Like I couldn't hear any. I couldn't decipher any notes. I couldn't hear anything.
No.
So but it's on the same record.
I know, that's wild.
So is it one of the, well again that was 94 and they
Yeah.
did that in 2015. So it's one of those things where it's like almost 20 years, like 16 years apart. So it's like, okay, did they get better with time? Mm-hmm. Did they say, hey, we're not doing the whatever, but you know, I don't know. I don't know, but sonically, this sounded great. This
Yep.
sounded like, according to the True Cult people, like this is a band that like, you know, pushed up the genre to the next level. So then you had Burzum, Dark Throne, Satyricon, Gorgoroth, you know, Emperor. Emperor's probably your favorite black metal band. Do you remember Emperor?
Yeah.
I Am the Wizards or something like that. So there was.
Which one was the one that had that woman?
Dimmu Borgir.
I really like them too.
Yeah, I don't know if Dimmu Borgir is on this list, maybe, but this is a second wave of black metal, according to True Cult, and so they polished it and created it to bring forth the second wave of that black metal there before their time. So this song sonically sounded great. Even there were clean vocals too with this guy.
Yes, and I liked those. I liked it when he did that.
When he was singing the Latin shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was like something at the end, like where it seemed like he was like yelling, almost. I don't know. It was short, like right at the end.
Yeah.
I liked that part too.
You just didn't like the middle management demon voice.
No, I didn't like the sound of the voice, but I felt like I was like, okay, well, this is just that it's just not my style. Remember how I said there's some stuff that I'm like, I literally, like the other Mayhem song, the Freezing Moon one, I was like, I literally cannot understand how anybody could like this. It makes no sense to me.
Right.
But this does, even though, like, I'm not like, oh, wow, I want to hear his vocals. It's not like, you know, like the sound of Zen's vocals. I'm like, that's really good. Nergal's vocals, I'm like, I really like that. I personally, don't like that style, but I think that it communicates what they're trying to communicate well.
Yeah, this is almost like a completely different band to me. Between this and Freezing Moon.
I know.
Because this has complexity to it. Mm-hmm. Even vocally, it had some vocal complexity to it. Lyrically, it was way more complex lyrically than Freezing Moon. You know, like,
Yeah, what happened?
So it's like, it's just very strange to me. Like, who... Yeah. Did somebody else write Freezing Moon? You know that there was that one Aussie song, Paranoid?
Yeah.
And I guess they wrote it in like 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were like, it's kind of basic, da-da-da-da. But like, I don't know if there's a different writer, because I'm looking at the Freezing Moon lyrics right now. It's very, very basic. Freezing Moon, blah, blah, blah. But this one is like extremely sophisticated shit. And then the way that they organized the song was extremely sophisticated.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Can we get into the lyrics? I'm very interested.
Yeah. So
guys, it's sour candies, man.
I actually like the song. Obviously, I don't like the subject matter. So because of it, this is not going to make it to my shower list. But I did like the song.
Otherwise, it would have.
Otherwise, this is way too much middle management demon for me.
Okay, let's get into them. I really
like sometimes I listen to a lot of Nergal, and then I'm like, nah. I'm not doing the Father or Saint No Son shit in the shower. That's not happening.
Oh,
no.
You're so cute.
Back to Carnival, back to Nightwish, back to Alvarez Scaras. I'm not doing this. Okay. Just not doing it. All right. What do we got?
Welcome to the Elder Ruins again. The wind whispers beside the deep forest.
See, that's what I'm saying. They're on the woods.
Show us the way.
They're on the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Elder Ruins. What is that?
Oh, have you ever seen those? I mean, I just assumed they have like those things, like those rocks and things and temples and different things that they set up that have like survived. So they call them the ruins. I just thought the Elder Ruins was just places of worship that they had.
Like Stonehenge?
No.
Stonehenge is this thing in England. It was like these giant rocks.
Yeah.
And nobody knows how it got there and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. The wind whispers beside the deep forest. So there's the there's the thing. They're in the woods. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darkness will show us the way.
Remember on that little cartoon Brave?
Smart lyrics. Go ahead.
Darkness will show us.
Right.
Yeah. If anybody has any suggestions for me, this is totally off topic, but I have to keep sucking mints because my stomach is so upset, but they're making my teeth hurt even though they're sugar-free. But if anybody has any suggestions, please give me a way to change the nasty taste in my mouth without... And brushing my teeth doesn't help. Anyway, so remember on Brave? Mm-hmm. Remember there was all those rocks that were set up in a circle?
Yeah.
And like she made it to the middle and there was those little wisps that...
Yeah.
And so there was like some ancient something or other that was going on in the midst of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be that.
That was in the forest. It was
That's why you shouldn't let your kids watch those movies.
Well, that was Disney. My parents never let me watch Disney.
Are you serious?
I couldn't watch Disney.
Oh my god.
You want to know?
All right, this is child abuse. Continue.
You know what's ridiculous that I used to do? When I would babysit, as soon as I put the kids to bed, I'd pop in the Disney movies and I'd fast forward all the singing so I could try to get the story down.
Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, you fast forward the singing? Wasn't it singing the story?
I don't really like the singing. Too much singing is too much singing on Disney films when I was that age.
Alright.
Musicals and such. Anyway, the sky has darkened. 13 as we are. We are collected woeful around a book. Made of human flesh?
Well, I was thinking to myself,
The word became flesh and dwelt among us.
well, I doubt it.
No, I know that's not what they're saying, but
But I was thinking about, the stuff that you would watch. Where they would say, the Satanists go into the woods and they have human sacrifices.
yeah.
I was like, well, shit, here we go. Around a book made of human flesh. So either they're looking at the sacrifice and using that metaphorically.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or literally the book is made of human flesh, in which case it doesn't matter because they still, human beings had to, whatever. So I'm like, well, there's one for Sori.
No, there's two. You've said that before.
Said what?
You said, oh, this is one where you were like, it was the Halloween one, where they were like, basically like, look up.
Yeah,
now you're rolling your eyes.
That's when we had the first conversation where you were saying that the Satanists were taking kids in the woods and killing them on Halloween and all this craziness. I didn't really believe that.
Yeah, but you said that was one for me because of what the song was saying and someone will look out and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we had the same conversation. I was saying that they don't do that, like that.
Yeah.
But here we are. You know what's interesting? We said that in a previous video, and of course, I was saying, no, Satanists don't. Remember when you were saying that the Satanists were looking for the kid because they were trying to cover up and have, like,
oh, yeah, I remember.
Media, and I'm like, nobody.
And you're like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, nobody believes that.
Yeah.
And so everybody was like, you need to get over your bigotry, sorry. But, well, there were two people that were like, they absolutely do it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I just think that I think that they know, because this is 94. I think they knew that Christians were saying that, and so they just put that in there to mess with them.
okay.
No? You don't think so?
I mean, human sacrifice has always been something that has been a part of pagan rituals. I mean, they used to burn the children, in the iron arms of that thing. I mean, there's documentation.
Yeah, but that's not Satanism.
They crack the head of the.
That's
It's
not
all the
Satanism.
same.
No,
okay,
it's
wait,
not.
whoa. Let me finish what I'm saying. I know it's not Satanism, but it's essentially all worshiping the same thing. God says, if you're not for me, you're against me. So it's all in that same camp, and I feel like that it's all. Okay, make your faces, babe.
No, I'm trying to process the thought process because I know what you're saying. What you're saying is there's only two teams. So when I say no, those were ancient Near Eastern pagans. These are not Satanists. You're saying they're all on Team Satan, and I agree with that theologically. But what I'm saying is in practice, like for example, your average. I just
don't know how you can say. I'm not saying that I necessarily think that modern day Satanists.
Well, this was 1994, Your Grace. That's modern day. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think that there was. That human sacrifice was a part of satanic rituals.
Okay, but this is 1994. So what I'm saying is I don't believe they were doing this in 94.
Why is there record of people being killed and cut up in certain ways, and then there's pentagrams on the walls and stuff like that?
Okay, where did these records come from?
Who was that guy that he would flash the devil sign, and he had like 666 written on his hand? What was his? He was like this big. He killed like a lot of people.
Was he in jail?
He was on that documentary we watched. Oh yeah, he went to jail.
Okay, I don't think anything in that documentary is legitimate at all.
Babe, it was somebody that like.
What do you mean, like the son of Sam?
No, I don't.
He heard a dog was telling him to kill. It's like Venom.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get my facts, okay? I'm talking to Vin here.
No, I'm agreeing with you that human sacrifice has happened or is probably still happening. But this type of Satanism and in this time period, I did not subscribe to that, is what I'm saying. I'm assuming. Maybe I'm wrong. It's very possible I could be wrong. I'm just saying it seems to me that they knew what Christians were saying and kind of said this to kind of like poke us in the eye, to mess with us.
You could be right.
But anyway, either way, boom, it's right there. You see what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to, you could kind of say like, and again, if you're a Satanist into black metal and you're upset that Christians are stereotyping you, well, you got stuff on there in your song. So what do you expect? You see what I'm saying? Like how so I see it from both sides. I can see it from both sides. Nothing from that documentary struck me as credible at all.
Do you think that they drink blood?
Do I think that they drink blood? I just have to talk to some of these people. Because to me, whenever I hear Satanism right now, I'm looking at it from the perspective of it's a certain kind of philosophy.
Well, I'm sure that there's different branches. Like, some people where it's a philosophy and it's a way of thinking and whatever, but then I think that there are other people that take stuff, Here's what I will say. I do think that there's probably a fringe element of Satanists who do evil shit. Okay.
But I don't think that they're mainstream. I think there are fringe elements of Christians that do evil shit.
Well, every fringe of,
Right, so you can't say all of Christianity is
that the Satanic Bible specifically says you're supposed to be nice to kids.
Well, it wasn't the Satanic Bible. It's basically like their version of the Ten Commandments. Well, be nice to kids, yeah.
Okay, well, in that case,
don't hurt kids.
Then you'd have to say the mainstream, the people that are following their set thing of doctrine, would not be doing any child sacrifice or anything like that. So then it would have to be some fringe group or whatever.
Well, that video where like the whole thing is about breeding kids to kill them and all it's systematic.
Yeah.
And my thing is, it'd be all over the place if that was the case. You wouldn't need some fucking special video from a Christian publishing company charging you $25 for a VHS. They wouldn't be necessary if that was happening that systemically. The FBI would be casing the place. They would be sending out warnings. The government would be sending out warnings to people saying, hey, watch out for this. There would be a registry. If that was happening on a systematic level.
What do you mean, watch out for this? Like, keep your eye open for this happening?
Well, yeah, there would be a public service announcement. They wouldn't keep that under wraps. It's just like you have a sex offender registry. There would be a registry. If this was like, there's like 400 million people in America. If this was happening in every city on Halloween, are you kidding me? It'd be all over the place. You would need a Christian publishing company.
Happening in every city. But anyway, yeah, I see what you're saying.
The book's blood.
It's just very hard for me to get away from that thinking because I've thought it for so long.
Well, I'm not saying you're completely wrong. I just think that in the early 90s, Christianity, they took the term Satan.
Yeah.
Because these people labeled themselves Satanists, and they took that term to attach to these people the worst possible things that you could imagine, instead of listening to them in order to demonize them because they took on the term Satanist, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I think in response to that, there was a lot of there's just a lot of reacting from both sides. So like, when I see lyrics like this, I'm like, I don't really think that any of these guys really believe in doing this to, human flesh and all this or sacrifice. I don't believe that they believe in that. I just think that they were saying, okay, you guys don't say that about us? Fine, we'll make a song about it. We'll have your kids singing it. It's the best revenge, right?
Yeah.
But it could be true. I don't know. The book's blood written, pages open. Oh no. Haec nonem pax, here is no peace. I think that's the translation right there. Because pax means peace. And nonem, here is no peace. I think that's like a plural.
What do you think the rest of it says?
I think that's a plural, like there's no peace here.
Yeah. For
us. Why? I don't understand why you would celebrate that. Why would you celebrate not having peace?
I talked to somebody one time and they liked chaos. They didn't want peace. They wanted chaos. They liked that.
Right. Yeah. Probably the same person.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're at that spot, then there is no peace here. I think that's something that they would be celebrating.
But this is why I'm saying, like, we have to listen to people.
Yeah, you know what happens?
Because I think that that's really important when he says that.
Well, what do you mean? Why?
Here's no peace.
Yeah.
This, I'm assuming, was written by Euronymous. I don't know who wrote the exact lyrics to this song. But I think it's important because it gives you a view into their soul as to what's going on with them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe it's not a celebration. Maybe it's just an observation. This is life. There's no peace here. Mm-hmm. Or the path that I'm taking doesn't give us peace. Antiquus mulum tristis. Tristis is suffering or sadness. I'm not sure. And antiquus would be like ancient. Arcanus mysterious scriptum. So ancient mysterious scripture, I'm assuming, is what that would be. So it just seems like it's talking about lack of peace, no sadness, and it's an ancient, mysterious text that they're all surrounded around. But I think that that's such a significant line that here is no peace. You know.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, maybe it's one of those things where you try to get peace over and over again and you could never find it. So instead of, like, you know, after your 5 millionth tried to attempt to get some sort of peace, you know, finally you just quit and say, okay, I'm just going to follow a path that doesn't have that type of expectation.
Yeah, that's sad.
Because I could tell you that's one of the toughest things about being a Christian. Because you have all these promises like, oh, you'll have life and you'll have it. You know, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, and I've come that they may have life and have it abundantly. So Jesus is saying you're not just supposed to survive and live, you're supposed to live with a full life, with a full heart.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have these things, because, you know, you have different brands of Christianity where people are like, oh, you'll get rich, or you'll always be healthy, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that's bullshit, because that's not true. Jesus never said that. But he did say, so John 10 was the life abundantly. John 15 was, my peace I leave to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. Where Jesus is saying, I'm giving you peace, but not the peace that the world gives, because the world gives peace when things are okay, and then it takes it away when things go chaotic. And Jesus is promising a certain type of peace that stays with you.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things to me about Christianity is seeing those things and then not experiencing them in life. So you see them and you have the expectation, oh, I'm supposed to have this abundant life, I'm supposed to live fully, I'm supposed to have peace. And then it's like, you know, we were in a group of people that for everybody was depressed. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, you know, Lilo or whoever, that's because it's all bullshit. I don't think it's all bullshit. I just think that it you know, it comes...
No, because I've been around other groups of Christians as well where it wasn't a bunch of depressed people. We were working with the inner city. Like, there was a lot to be depressed about. And
they were new Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said in the last fireside that I've been around Christians who have been, you know, in terrible situations, you know, jailed in China, and have had terrible things happen to them, and they were able to, like, find this island of peace inside of the cell. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's one of the hardest things to contend with and you see it in the Bible where you have people struggling for that attainment of peace and you know, not even like, oh, I'm trying to be like a super happy person. I just want to be able to have that stability and that stasis and that ground that no matter what comes my way, I'm going to be able to kind of, you know, be even keeled.
Right.
So that's a tough line because I haven't given up on that though. I haven't given, because I've had moments. I've had moments where I'm like, I figured it out. You know what I mean? So like, I haven't given up on it. But if you're a person who doesn't have, you know, again, our way is following our way is the way of Jesus. But if you're the person who doesn't have, you know, the context around that. Because our symbol of our religion is an instrument of death and destruction and suffering. So like, if you can find a way to have peace in that, you're good across the board. And there is an expectation that your life is going to be carrying across. And the whole trick of Christianity is trying to find a way to have peace while you're carrying your cross. But if you don't have that paradigm, that's why Jordan Peterson said that there's so much utility in the Christian in the story of Jesus, even though he's not a Christian.
Right.
But if you don't have that paradigm, I don't know like how to. It's a serious question because I don't think that that's the only way to experience peace in the world. I probably think it's the only way to experience it consistently to the root of your soul.
Yeah, to the root of your soul, yeah.
But I don't think that that's the only. So whatever your way is of having peace, maybe you put that in the comment section to help other people out because we get messages all the time, and not everybody's a Christian. We know that most of our constituency aren't Christian, so
yeah.
So that was just that line just really stuck out to me. Because it's like. People project a certain image. I'm a big bad black metal guy. Blah. I worship the devil. But like, if you really, really listen to what people are saying, it's they're very, very human and very, there's a lot of torment there. Obviously, there was torment for at least Euronymous, because that's the one that ended up getting, killed. But he got killed because there was basically the rumor that he was going to kill Varg. So. This is your bandmate. This is your brother. This is, we saw when we were at the, what do you call it, show?
Neo?
The Neo show, where, they were getting along with each other, and they were the bassist and the guitarist. Or remember when they were doing
face-to-face?
They were face to face. Remember when they were doing the spots like together? Yeah. So it's like I love seeing that in bands, and it's like, oh, this band is like, here you are, this groundbreaking canonical band, and they didn't have peace with each other. And it's kind of sad, but anyway. The book's blood's written on pages opening Invoco Crentus Domini Dei Daemonium. Okay, so I'm invoking a demon, basically.
We follow with our white eyes.
The ceremonial. Yeah, this thing.
Oh, I thought it was like your eyes are really wide.
No, I think it's like your eyes roll in the back of your head.
Yikes, okay.
And that's basically when you're possessed, that's kind of like what happens. So he's invoking a demon. It says Domini here, so Domini is probably Lord. So like a high demon, probably.
What's the DE? Is that of?
Day. Yeah, probably of or
so the Lord of the Demons?
Good one. Invoking the Lord of the Demons. I don't know what Crentus means in Latin. I don't think it's the Lord of the Demons, though. I think it's a middle manager. I think the Lord of the Demons is in Parliament.
The person that's talking is the one that's summoning, right?
Right. The book's blood written pages open, invoking the Lord of the Demons.
And then he says, we follow with our white eyes. So I don't think that he's even being a demon. I think that he's being one of the people that's calling on the Lord of the Demons.
I'm agreeing with you. He's invoking the demon.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I don't think that the demon that's responding, that's going to respond is the Lord of the Demons.
Yeah,
okay.
What I'm saying. I see.
Rex Sacrituculus Mortifer. All I know is Mortifer is probably death. And Sacrituculus is probably something about holiness or something like that. In the circle of stone coffins, we are standing with our black robes on, holding the bowl with unholy water. Bring us the goats. Mortem animalium. Kill the animal. Kill him. So the whole Psycho mantum et precor exitu anus mejor. I don't know what that is. Ferus netenda sacratus megas. I don't know. But it seems to be like just the invocation of Satan or some demon, and you're sacrificing a goat, and at the end of it, the animal dies. Mortem anim. Well, which is interesting because even in this rite, it's an animal that gets sacrificed, not a human. See what I'm saying? They're sacrificing a goat, not an actual person.
Yeah. Yeah, in this one. Yep.
And then you've got holding the bowl with unholy water. That's interesting. The holy water thing is sort of a Christian rite, and then an animal sacrifices is kind of like an Old Testament rite. What's interesting, I don't know if these folks know this or not, but even in the Old Testament, you were sacrificing goats. Goats were sacrificed as well. I mean, I know that goats are usually used to contrast with lambs. So the lamb, because the sheep are the good guys and the goats are the bad guys, and John was in Matthew 25.
Yep.
But so I don't know if Satanists know that. Like, Sacrificing a goat is not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not anti-Christian.
It's not anti-Christian.
Well, Christians didn't do it, but the Jews did, and our religion came from theirs.
Yeah, our entire religion came from Judaism. So, on top of that, there is even a sense in which Jesus in the Old Testament is characterized as a goat, because in Hebrews it says the blood of bulls and goats did not satisfy you, and then it talks about the sacrifice of Christ.
Yeah.
Or you have Azazel who gets banished, who gets sent outside of the camp, that carries the people put their hands on the head of the goat.
Yeah.
And they confess all their sins, which is basically transferring all the sins onto the goat, and then they send the goat outside of the camp.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus is carrying the sins, and he got sent outside. He got crucified outside of Jerusalem.
Right.
So in that sense, Jesus is personifying the goat.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
So the goat symbology, like, I get it, because in Matthew 25, the sheep are the good guys and the goats are the bad guys. But if you look at the entire spectrum of biblical, sacrifice theology, the goat is much more closely related to Christ than it is to the devil, like 10 to 1. As a matter of fact, the devil is never even called a goat, I don't think. It's the serpent for sure, but all the lamb, the goats, the bull, all that stuff points to Jesus. So if you're sacrificing the goat, that's more of good. Continue doing it, because you need an atonement.
What religion is it where it looks? It's like a goat head on the front.
That's Satanism.
It is Satanism?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's usually doing something like this or something like that, which is kind of like a flip of the Baphomet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then there was this other passage in Leviticus where the people were sacrificing to goat demons. So there's another one. Yeah. So I'm correcting myself, because I said the devil is never associated with goats, but no, there was that passage in Leviticus where they were sacrificing to goat demons. Yeah. John Sailhammer was the first time I ran into that. Yeah.
What did he say?
Leviticus 17:7.
What did he say about it?
That's the reason why the priesthood went from the common people to just the priests. Because prior to the priesthood institution, every man who was the head of the house could sacrifice on behalf of his family. Well, these guys were sacrificing the goat demons in Leviticus 17.
How the heck did they get that mixed up?
They all were neighbors with pagans.
And a goat demon, that's weird. Like when you talk about the seraphim and you say like how it's like a serpent and stuff like that, like, and there's references, so then you kind of picture like this serpent-like winged beast. But like with the goat demon, like, is there any other references where, like, why, or is it like, you'll see those half man, half, horse, half, like those type of things?
Well,
would the goat demon be something like that, you think?
A lot of the religion had to do with what you were depending on for survival. So if you're in an agrarian society, you depend on the sun for your survival, so you're going to worship the sun. So the gods had different jurisdictions, and so I can imagine if you work in livestock, that you would have a cow god, and they wouldn't call it the goat demon, they probably call it the god of the goats. Right. So that you can.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that your goats would be fertile and multiply and all this stuff, and if you So I can imagine it was goat gods, but then God remixes it and calls it goat demons. Leviticus 17:7, the original Hebrew word is goat. So goat devils or something like that. So there is enough in the New Testament to where the majority of it is good as far as goats go, but the majority of it, I'll say this: when you are sacrificing a goat, in the Bible, 100% of the time it's to Yahweh. If you're sacrificing to a goat, then that's not good.
No.
All right, what do you give the song?
I actually give it a 9. Surprisingly, I think that they accomplished what they were aiming for. I feel a little bit bad not giving it a 10 because I think that what they were trying to accomplish, I think that they accomplished it. But I don't want to give it a 10 because I personally didn't like the vocal style. And that's what this is. This is a reaction, so I'm supposed to be off of my personal.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So I'm giving it a 9. But I really liked the heavy metal in it, the instruments. Now, was there 2 guitars?
Yeah.
Yeah, both. So like the bald guy, he did really good, and then the other guy, like
guy in the hoodie. I love
the
presentation.
way that he was going, man.
Tremolo, yeah. Yeah.
What are you giving it?
I'm thinking long and hard.
Oh, I was so sick this morning, you guys. Oh my word. You ready? Or can I just keep talking?
So
Jay came out to check on me because I was so bad.
Here's the thing. If I didn't listen to so many black metal or death metal songs, then I'd be a lot more harsh with the vocals. But because I've heard so many death type
sound
vocals,
very similar.
This is actually unique, and I feel like he was trying to be like an authentic demon, you know. And so the vocals don't bother. Like, I don't like them per se, but I feel like, okay, he's trying to do something different. What's he supposed to do? Rah, 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 like everybody else. And he did at the end. I just thought that this song had so much complexity to it. I thought the lyrics were beautifully written, even though I disagree with them. We shouldn't go into the woods and sacrifice anything to the devil.
Nope.
Real or imagined or metaphorical or otherwise. I think I'm going to give it a 10 because... for a couple reasons. One, it's a live video. Anytime I watch a live video, that gets factored into the rating. Because I'm reacting to what I'm seeing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a live video. They were badass live. Instrumentation was great live. The little lightning bolt thing that he was holding.
Yeah, what was that?
That was corny. That shit was corny as hell, my guy.
Poking the skulls.
I thought that was dumb. I was like, what?
Well,
somebody said to themselves, this is going to be badass.
Yeah, but maybe it means something that we don't know.
I don't care what it means. Make it look cool. That looked stupid. It looked like you had a little, cardboard and put tinfoil over it. Same shit. It was terrible. But.
Have you ever seen, do you remember like when you would go to back when we were kids, like the stores when they would sell clothes and the racks, if you pulled the top of the rack, that whole thing would come off. Like it was like shaped like an L and it had these little...
Yeah.
Anyway, it reminded me of one of those. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So... yeah. I thought that was corny. But the whole show and the way that they did it, I thought everything else was insanely good. I thought it was really, really good. I just couldn't see, I didn't see any weaknesses in the live show as far as the presentation, anything like that. They were into their music, which I really like seeing. And the complexity of how they arranged the song, I just thought it was unbelievable. I can't believe the same band that did Freezing Moon did this song. I'm blown away.
I know, that's weird.
I'm blown away. And the drumming was insane.
Yeah, they did.
Nowadays when you hear drumming, 8 times out of 10, like somebody put something together on a music program.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, initially, like before, anytime I hear crazy vocals, I'm like, I want to see them pull that off live. Now, since he started the channel, I see the drumming, I'm like, I want to pull this off live.
Yeah.
I want to see you pull this off live. So whoever the drummer is, he's a bad man.
Yeah.
He's really, 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 but even in the Frozen Moon one, I liked the drummer. The drummer was like the saving grace of the Freezing Moon one. So, but everybody did good, not just the drummer. But the drummer was like he was like a standout to me. And I don't even know if it's the original lineup. I mean, I don't know. This song is great. It's a 10 for me. I'll probably never listen to it in my shower, okay? But it's a 10 for me, and apparently, according to the True Cult Group, this is a foundational band for black metal. So like after this record came out, like after it like pushed the genre to a different level. So there you are. You gotta much respect to the gods. All right, Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.